Oh, hello, everyone. Today, I am honored to be joined by a true Pace Athletics legend in Casey Gelderman. Casey was a cornerstone of the women's lacrosse program, joining as part of the inaugural roster and going on to set numerous records, including most career goals. She is a two-time All-American, the first women's lacrosse player in Pace history to be inducted into the Pace Athletics Hall of Fame. She helped lead the team to so much success during her tenure. We're excited to look back at her remarkable career and discuss her journey. Casey, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So basically, I just wanted to start off with about your legacy. So you were a part of that first women's lacrosse team at Pace. Can you take us back to those early days and describe what it was like to be a part of establishing such a successful program from the ground up?
Yeah, it was messages are going off.
You're good.
Okay. It was interesting. It's fun to look back on now and see what the program is like and see what we came from. So coming in to our first season, we were a group of 20 freshmen. We had no upperclassmen, we had no field, we had no locker room. Everything was kind of like, all right, we're going to figure this out and we're going to do this together. And we're just going to set the tone for what we want the team to be. And we made it what we wanted to. We wanted to be successful. We wanted to work hard. And it's amazing to see where the program is now.
You mentioned your freshman year, 20 freshmen is just unbelievable. And, I'd imagine that was definitely a huge adjustment for you, I'm sure. But not only are you moving away from the high school lacrosse, but you're also joining a brand new program. How did you manage to adapt so quickly to the college level, and what motivated the team during that first season?
We really didn't have much of a choice. It is such a competitive conference, so there was no time to kind of figure it out. We went out there and we were playing against amazing competition, amazing players. There were All-Americans on the field all around us, and we had kind of just got there. So it was like, all right, it's time to show up and show them what we can do and that we have to be taken seriously. That was a lot of our motivation the first year. Was teams would come to us and they thought, they're just a bunch of freshmen, they're a first-year team. We don't have to take them seriously. We don't have to prepare for them. We don't have to watch film. So we had almost that element of surprise that first year. Like we demand to be taken seriously.
You mentioned a little bit about, playing against a couple All-Americans, but in 2017, you became the first IWLCA All-American in Pace University program history. I just wanted to ask you a little bit about it. What did that recognition mean to you personally and for the women's lacrosse team at Pace to become one of those All-Americans that you were playing up against, again, pretty much during your freshman year, and now you're one of them?
Yeah, I think it was just a tribute to not only my success, but our team's success, because they don't give All-American bids to teams that aren't successful in winning games and on the map. So, that year we're being ranked nationally and starting to really get some attention in the top 20 and being an all-around player. I think what got me there was not only the goals and the ground balls, the draw controls, caused turnovers. So it was just like everything being put together.
Yeah, that truly is humbling. That not only are you're bringing your team into it as well, but you mentioned it wasn't only the goals. You've set several records with Pace, including holding the program's record for most career goals still to this date. You're also second in points, which is amazing as well. How did you balance that personal achievement with the success of the team as a whole? Because you mentioned a lot in that previous response that it wasn't just you, it was with the team as well.
The team was always very supportive of me. I knew that I wasn't competing against them. Everything that I did was for our game. To win, and win as a team. I even remember some of my teammates were counting down the goals. You have to score this many goals today to get to your 100th goal or 200th goal. So I felt the support of them, and they weren't we weren't competing with each other. They were very supportive.
That's amazing. Was it a little nerve-wracking that they were trying to tell you, oh, you're like 5 goals away from
Yeah, I was always like, we'll see what happens.
That is amazing. But
I kind of knew when the game was or when it was getting close.
of course. But also, not only with the team success, what does it mean to you personally that you are sitting at the top of those record books still to this date, especially with so many talented players in the PACE program? Several came close, but they never were able to catch you just there. So what does it mean to you still to be up there?
Oh, there's so many talented players, and so many people that I've watched almost every game that they've played since I left. So, I notice and I see the players that are getting close, and I have so much respect for them because I know how hard it is and how meaningful these, stats are. But I always think, we didn't have that many games our freshman year or our sophomore year. Like, we didn't make it into the playoffs the first year. We didn't make it even past the first round for another 2 years after that. So I just think back, we used to get beat by a lot of these teams our freshman year. We didn't score that many goals. We didn't even really have a lot of games where we had a lot of possession. I remember some teams were ranked, number 1, number 2 in the country, and we are a first year program. So those goals to me are really meaningful because we only had maybe like 4 or 5 for the whole game. So.
Oh, that's awesome. Honestly, I know this may be a little bit of a tougher question, but can you share a particular game or a moment that stands out to you as a defining point in your career at PACE? Like, you just went into a little bit more of how much those goals meant when you were playing against some of the top teams in the country. Is there anything off the top of your head that definitely stinks out that would you say was a huge point in your career?
That's tough. We played so many ranked teams, and it almost seemed like every game we had was a huge matchup for us. I remember, I think it was our junior season, Adelphi came to us. We played on the home field, and, we never beat Adelphi, and we still hadn't beaten Adelphi until the past, I think 2 seasons ago was the first time the program did. We were neck and neck with them for a very long time, and there was a point where we thought, like, oh my gosh, we're really in this. They scored a goal, we scored a goal, and we ended up not winning. But I do remember being like, we can hang with these teams. I think most of us knew this already, but it wasn't like we can hang with the number 1 team in the country. We're just as good, and it didn't turn out our way that year, but it will in the future.
Yeah, that's amazing. Honestly, I know I've been covering the women's lacrosse team for a little bit now, and I know how great that rivalry is between Adelphi. Lemoyne's no longer with the Anytime, but I knew it was just as intense with them as well. So, yeah, no, I definitely agree. Moving on to a little bit more of not necessarily just with PACE, but I wanted to talk just a quick question about what was the experience you were so like a senior all-star game. And I just wanted to wonder what it was like for you, from your perspective, to be received with that honor, and how did it feel to represent PACE on such a big stage with some of the best players in the country?
That was so much fun, that game. It was really interesting because a lot of the girls from NE10 were on our North Side all-star team. So my rivals, my matchups from the past 4 years, I'm now playing alongside. And it was fun because we got to know each other a little bit throughout the weekend on a personal level and hang out, and then we got to go play together. So it was really interesting. Like, hey, you're not all that bad. I guess we can be friends. And that was, I think, the best part. We got to just come together and put everything aside that we went through the past 4 years and just have some fun.
Start to wrap it up, but I mentioned in the introduction that you are the first women's lacrosse player to be inducted into the Pace Athletics Hall of Fame. And I just wanted to ask you how does it resonate with you to be the trailblazer for this program in that way? What do you think this honor means, and how does it have an effect for the future of women's lacrosse at Pace, especially because you said you've been tuning into a lot of the games and several talented players coming into the program each year?
Yeah, I'm just so honored that the athletic department chose me as the first member. You know, there were so many talented teammates that I played with and that I even, followed after me. So I'm just grateful that they picked me. I feel, recognized for all my hard work, and I just hope that, my teammates can share this honor with me because they were a big part of so I'm super excited.
Of course. And since you were part of that first team and you said you've been so involved, how has the women's lacrosse program at Pace evolved over the years? And what are your thoughts on its future going forward? How you've seen it changed and more?
Oh, it's so incredible. Me and some of my former teammates, we always look back and we see their media day and their equipment reveal and just see all of the new opportunities that they have. And it's not jealousy. It's like we started that, we created that, and I'm so glad that they can have that and that we really made a name for Pace Women's Lacrosse. It's pride. I went to the national championship when they won, and it was very full circle and wholesome for us to be there and just say, like, this is the legacy that we started, and now look where they ended
Absolutely.
up.
That's amazing outlook, to be honest. I really do think that really is amazing to take pride, especially now that you're a couple of years out of it. But I just wanted to wrap things up with one final question, and that basically is, now that you're being inducted into the Hall of Fame, how do you reflect on your lacrosse journey at Pace and the role it played in shaping who you are today?
There's a lot of lessons that I've learned along the way that I still even carry into my life, into my career. Learning how to work as a team, keep your cool in times where things aren't going the way you want them to, and staying true to yourself and your values will just carry you through that with the support of your team. So that's something I bring into my career as a nurse. It's not always easy, and you are working with a big team of different disciplines to care for somebody. So it's very similar, and I take a lot of those values with me. And I don't know.
Yeah. Well, Casey, I believe that should be great for our interview. It's been an absolute pleasure hearing about your journey and the incredible impact that you've had on Pace Women's Lacrosse. Even looking at your accomplishments on the field and your leadership in building such a strong program truly set a high bar for future players. Thank you for taking the time to share your story with us, and we wish to continue success in everything that you do in the future.
Thank you. I'm excited. I'm excited for October.
Thank you so much, Casey.
Have a good one.